Hello everyone, Water Magister here. I am going to be doing a short video on Black Mirror scrying and scrying in general. This is part of my new series format, and this video is going to be part of the Spirits series. So anytime that you see the color black and white, it's an indication that we are going into different tools of scrying and invocations. And also I'm going to be utilizing this particular section as a journal of my expeditions through the invocations of the Enochian angels, the neutral spirits, and the demonic spirits. Before I even get into why I want to do this, or what the mirror scrying is, I want to get into why I'm doing this. Because it seems that people have a negative connotation as to what demons are and what angels are, the polarities of them. In my own personal studies of self-realization and reality creation, if indeed you believe that you create your reality 100% of the time, it is to say that every experience you have is to serve your purpose, to gain better clarity. And I know from facilitating astral projection classes and lucid dreaming classes that everything, including in this reality and other realms, are a direct mirror of things that you're going through or things that you're experiencing in your life. So for example, in an out-of-body journey or an astral projection, if you see a ball of light, a thought form, and you are coming from a place of fear, that thought form is going to shift its reality, it's shift its persona, it's shift its way of being, the body of it, towards what actually instills fear, because that is what you're emitting towards it if you don't know what it is. So I took this principle and I realized that that same thing would play with demonic deities or demonic entities, and also angelic entities. And to go even further in that, I was speaking to a friend of mine who dabbles in demonology, and he stated something that really stood out to me, and it's that there's 72 names of God, 72 different names of God in Hebrew, the Hebrew religion. And as I'm reading the Lesser Keys of Solomon, I come to find out that there's 72 names of demonic entities, demonic beings. So what I personally believe this is about, or this correlation is, when you decide to invoke these beings, and same with the neutral spirits or angelic spirits, which is the Enochians, or the Enochian language itself, using that language, what's happening is these beings are shifting their form towards what energetic output or resonance you're giving off. So if you're summoning or invoking these demonic entities and you want to use it for self-glorification or a means to force these beings to do something for you, they're going to seem demonic, they're going to seem evil per se. But my role, my personal role, that I've been channeled and that I've communicated with other people, is utilizing the unconditional love that I am, and utilizing the love and the light that I embody. I am to invoke these beings and let them know that they are loved, and shine light on them, going into that darkness, going into that space. And I'm sure whoever watches this has already done invocations, or maybe you're starting to do your own invocations, but you may think, oh, don't you have to protect yourself for this? And my personal answer, I personally feel I don't have to. The reason being is I used to be a prepper. I used to research conspiracy theories and all of these types of different things. And I used to own 3 different guns. And I trained myself how to load my own bullets. But I was coming from such a deep state of fear. And a mentor of mine said something very profound to me, and it was, because you feel that you have to protect yourself, and since you're the creator of your reality, you are then going to create the thing that you have to protect yourself from. So when I heard that, I had a lot of different resistance to it, but I eventually sold all my guns, and I had such an identity towards that fear that I had to protect myself from something. When in reality, if you live in your truth, and if you live in your unconditional love, and if you live without judgment, and you catch yourself when you're actually judging, there is nothing that any being or any entity can do to you, because you're emanating that resonance of love. You're emanating that resonance of non-judgment. And with that is a huge power behind it. So my role is essentially to invoke these certain beings, whichever ones I'm feeling called to, which I've been working with Amenadiel, but I haven't had contact per se, but I've felt the energy of him, and I haven't seen it in the Black Mirror yet. But I wanted to discuss how to utilize a Black Mirror, how I personally learned to use it, because I have seen other things within a Black Mirror without using sigils to invoke certain beings, to invoke certain entities. So I want to show you my Black Mirror. So this is my Black Mirror. On the top I have Metatron, on the left Elohim, on the bottom Jehovah, and on the right side, there we go, on the right side Adonai. I wanted to have 4 powerful names on all sides of the mirror. And what I did is I used my own sigil, the sigil of Chogopal, on the back of the mirror itself, utilizing my own ritual practices, so that any being in my own personal reality that feels that they want to show themselves through the mirror, they begin to remember who they are beyond the stories that they told themselves, the stories that have been told to them to embody those particular energies. So I'm coercing these beings to come through the mirror so that they can begin remembering who they are, so that they can begin remembering to come back to the light, I guess you can call it, source consciousness. Because they've been living there for thousands of years, and we, and by we I mean I, and by I mean all of us, we've been utilizing those spirits as a means of gaining power and chaining them, like the King Solomon did, forcing these beings to do things against their will. And I feel like my role is to assist in the reintegration of them into source, because they've forgotten how to love, they've forgotten how to exhibit their light. So I'm not doing this for a way of aligning myself with negative energies or demonic energies or entities. I'm doing it because I want to assist those beings in growing, because they've been stuck in that darkness for so long. So the way that I've learned how to Black Mirror Scry is you get a black reflective surface, and you get 2 candles, and you put one on the left side and one on the right side so that you can see the candles in the frame. Angle the black mirror so that you don't see your face, so that you only see the 2 candle flames. Do any type of ritual work on the piece itself that you feel is necessary for your own practice. Once that's done, what you want to do is do your best to look at the mirror and not blink. Eventually, you're going to get in a state where your eyes start to water, and you can use that water, or the watering of the eyes, to continue to stare into the black mirror. Eventually, once you move past that, you're going to see, well, I'm going to speak from my experience. Each time I do it, I see a purple, like blob or circle. And it's sometimes blue, but it begins to encompass the entire black surface. And the more you focus on that blue that emerges, you could begin to see faces that could begin to show up. You could begin to see eyes that are looking at you. You could begin to see scenes that you normally wouldn't see. It's very similar to like just being in a regular meditation and focusing on the darkness behind your eyes, but you're actually seeing it in a physical manner, utilizing the void, the dark space, to bring out the image itself. So that's essentially the way that I've been doing it. Anyone who has been practicing this and you have a different way, I look forward to hearing in your comments, or in the comments, as to how you personally do it. Again, my role is to just share what I'm learning along the way and do my best to educate others as I am personally learning through this practice of my own self-exploration, of diving into my shadow and turning it into light. So again, this is just a short video, but I wanted to thank you all for taking the time to listening to this video. And if you have any questions, or if you have any feedback about Black Mirror scrying, please feel free to comment below, and have an amazing rest of your night.